This video is going to be like more of a shorts type of video instead of a long form type of video that I've usually been doing when I just sit down there. But anyways, here's my week of reviewing films, I guess. So yeah, I've been doing a lot more better with films and all that. I was away having fun snowboarding for the past week, so every night I got to watch a film and all that. And I think this is a good selection of films here and there. All of them from Disney Plus, because Disney Plus is easy like that. Funny enough, Shrek is on Disney Plus. I never thought I'd see the day where Shrek is on Disney Plus. So, there we have it. Shrek is on Disney Plus. You gotta love that. Anyways, let me show you these films now. First up, Cinderella. I've actually been doing a tradition now that every year on my birthday, I watch a classic Disney film. The first time I did it was The Sword in the Stone. Second time was Lady and the Tramp last year. And this year, for my 21st birthday, is Cinderella. And I gotta say, out of the 3 classic Disney princess films, this one's definitely the weakest. And I know you probably heard all the criticisms and complaints about the fact that the mice take a lot more focus, and the Cinderella and the prince don't really have a character, and they just spend one night dancing together, and they fell in love. But it worked for me. It worked for me a lot. It worked for me a lot more than other people, I guess. I don't know. I think Cinderella has a lot more agency in this film. She definitely knows a lot more what she's doing, and she's definitely a lot more capable protagonist than a lot more modern protagonists. I guess. I mean, she cooks and cleans, but that's something that everyone should know. That's not really a sexist thing. Everyone should know how to do that. And sure, she's in an abusive situation, but she tries to make the most of it by keeping positive and optimistic that a brighter future will be there for her. And a brighter future is there for her when the prince, asks her to dance and they fall in love. I don't know. It works for me. And sure, it might not be for everyone, and it definitely feels like the mice intrude a lot more in this film, but it doesn't really matter. I like it. The songs are sweet, the animation is very timeless, and it's very distinct when it comes to classic Disney. Definitely a lot of talent with the helps of Milk Cole and so many others, giving this distinct style a lot more presence and grandiose. Yeah, I definitely think this is a timeless classic. It's not a 10 out of 10 masterpiece that for some reason I claimed Snow White and Sleeping Beauty to be, but it's just a really, really good time. Next is the 3 Caballeros. I'm hoping that's how you say it. Now, for some reason, this and Fun and Fancy Free were the only 2 wartime era films that I regularly watched. I never watched Saludos Amigos, or The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, or Make My Music, or Melody Time. I never watched any of those, but for some reason, I always watched The 3 Caballeros and Fun and Fancy Free. The 3 Caballeros is better than Fun and Fancy Free, because at least it doesn't make me uncomfortable. That's all I need to say. So yeah, I think this is a charming enough time. Sure, might be offensive, but I'm just a basic guy who didn't really see anything wrong with this. I mean, Jose and Panchito are very likable characters, and they add a lot to the charm in this film. And Donald is a charming enough presence in this as well. I don't know. I found the old timey sort of ways that they paid tribute to Mexico and Brazil to be interesting. Quite the fact that it is probably historically inaccurate, but it's interesting to see how back then they told these sort of stories, where you could easily compare this to now, how you would tell these sorts of stories in the more modern times, I guess. I don't know. I thought it was interesting enough, like a historical art piece, but it's inaccurate. Probably, I'm not really sure. Yeah, I think the stories that are told is very interesting, and the music is really catchy. I really liked it. The 3 Caballeros are just enjoyable enough times. I'm not sure why Panchito is a chicken, I guess. Even though Jose is like a macaw or a parrot. I mean, Donald is a duck, I guess, so you can't get everything, I guess. The voice acting is good between all these three, and I like the live action portions within this. I definitely think this is a film that probably hasn't aged well, but I think it's aged well for me, and it didn't really detract my enjoyment or anything. It's just a fine film, I guess, but it really drags itself down with the bonkers ending that just happened. I mean, throughout the film, it was mostly more or less structurally narrative, I guess, but then the ending, it just goes all over the place. I mean, it's a funny film. I did like it, and the moment where Panchito just does the long take on the voice, and Jose and Donald was trying to stop him in every way, but he just kept on going. That was probably the funniest part of the entire film. But it's just a fine enough time that really didn't intrude much. I probably might be in the minority in this, and probably people are going to think very differently about the fact that this is probably inaccurate and probably a bit offensive, but I'm just me, I guess. I'm just me. I've never watched a Goofy movie before I watched this. I'm shocked as well. Out of all the Disney films that I've watched throughout my entire life, including the main animation studio, all the direct-to-DVD sequels, Pixar, anything else like that, Nightmare Before Christmas and all that, out of all the stuff that I've watched on throughout my life, I've only just watched a Goofy movie. And I kind of wish I did watch this when I was a kid. I mean, Goofy is a very fun protagonist. I love him. He's definitely one of my favorites in the core Mickey Mouse crew. And him and his relationship with his son Max is really charming and enduring. I definitely think that they had a strong bond throughout, even though there was a lot of tension and conflict throughout this. I thought Max was very relatable with a teenager just wanted to fit in or just wanted to be popular, just wanted to ask out the girl of his dreams and all that. That definitely felt relatable to so many guys who don't feel like they're good enough for whatever girl that they want to be with and all that. And it's definitely relatable when your dad gets a bit cringy, but I, for one, don't mind that. I just laugh along, even though I'm just like, I just laugh because it's funny, and it is funny. Yeah, I love my dad. He's great. Yeah, I think the story is very charming and interesting. It's apparently a musical, which I liked. The music was cool. Yeah, and I liked the perspective of Goofy just wanting to do the best for his son in thinking that he probably is failing him and all that. That's definitely an angle that not a lot of kids' movies would tackle and all that. At least that's according to me. It's just a parent just trying to do what they believe is best for their children. And I gotta respect that. Parents, I feel like, are getting more and more underappreciated. And I think films like this need to be shown a lot more to show that parents are just trying to do what they think is best for their children. And children need to understand that whilst they might not get everything right, they're just trying to do their best for them. Yeah. Respect your parents, love your parents, and unless they're abusive, then either try to sort things out or just cut them out of your life. But for me, who has great relationship with his parents, I definitely think you should be listening to them a lot more and trusting their guidance. But hey, what do I know? I love Adam Sandler. I've always loved Adam Sandler. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. And sure, a lot of his films are probably terrible. I mean, I can safely say that for That's My Boy, one of the worst films ever made. But I still love Adam Sandler, and he's still incredible in this. Though I'm more of his fan. I'm more of his comedic type of. I'm not more of the comedic type of fan than I am of the more serious type of fan. Considering the fact that I have not watched Uncut Gems, J. Kelly, or Punch Drunk Love, though I would really like to watch Punch Drunk Love though, because at the very least I need to watch a PTA film. I have never watched a PTA film, and I really should watch a PTA film. So might as well watch Punch Drunk Love because Adam Sandler is in this. And you probably might hate me when I'm saying this, but this is probably my favorite Adam Sandler film of all time. Mainly because they hold so much nostalgia to me, and I've always just loved watching it when I was a kid. Yeah, and even now, I can safely say that it definitely holds up. For the most part. sure, there are definitely a lot of moments here and there that might have been a little bit weaker than I remember, and a lot of moments here and there that just didn't work the best for me, I guess. But all in all, I still really enjoy this film. I thought Skeeter was a very charming and interesting protagonist, and I like the relationship he has with his niece and nephew. As well, they're just trying to deal with a whole lot of problems in their lives, like their school shutting down and their dad leaving, which one of them is a lot more heavier, but I like the resolution that Skeeter has with his niece and nephew, as the three of them are just bonding a lot more. And Bugsy is weird, I guess, but he's charming enough. I like the bedtime stories that Skeeter actually tells in this. I think, whilst I do think they gradually get worse with each of them, they're all interesting and charming. And I like the fact that they all tie into real life coincidences that happens in Skeeter's life. I definitely think that was very fun and interesting, and I like that concept, I guess. I think the hotel side of it is really interesting as well, and I like how he's actively trying to add better influences to the hotels and all that, whilst he's trying to face off Guy Pearce and all that. I think the cast is solid enough. I really like it all around, and I like a lot of the film. I just like the film a lot. I will be in the minority in this, but I always just love this film, and I still think it's an incredible film, even if it might have a lot of flaws. But hey, we're all people. Some people might love this, some people might hate this, and some people might be in between. I'm on the love side, so I don't care. It's still a really, really good film, in my opinion. Alright, time for the film that has definitely had my opinion changed a lot. I've never watched the original Broadway show, and I feel like I really should, because how I've always viewed this film, I think I would really like the Broadway show. Because, well, I've actually always enjoyed this film, because it's just an enjoyable time. And I feel like it has something to do with Rob Marshall, the fact that I've always just been a sucker for his films. I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides was my obsession for years, and I actually did like the live-action Little Mermaid when I first watched it, even though I know now it is a bad film. I did enjoy it, but I know it's a bad film. And here, with Into the Woods, I just really enjoy it as well. I mean, sure, there definitely is a lot of things that the film probably gets inaccurate with the original Broadway show, but I like it. I like the setting, I like the costuming, I like the cinematography and all that. And I like the cast as well. I won't go into James Corden because I don't really care about going into James Corden, but I think the cast is solid enough. And I gotta say, Anna Kendrick, she needs to be in a lot more mainstream stuff, because goddamn is she gorgeous. And a really good actor, and a terrific singer, let's be honest. I think she's the best singer in the entire cast, because it feels like that she can really fit a type of Broadway opera sort of thing. I think the story is really interesting, but I definitely will probably like it a lot more than in the original Broadway shows. So there's that. And I think that every act's character and conflict that was just all tied together, it rounds out in a really interesting and compelling way. I definitely think I'll get a lot more with the Broadway show, but for this adaptation, I thought it was a good enough time, even if that after so many years it kind of dwindles for me. Though I will say, when I watched this a lot when I was a kid, I always cut it off just before the giant introduces herself with the giant footsteps and James Corden was about to say, and all live happily ever after. I always cut that off because I did not like the third act. And I still feel like it that way, even though that the Your Fault song is really good. I like that one. Yeah. All in all, it's a good enough time, and I don't think it's terribly offensive, mainly because I haven't watched the Broadway show, but I'm sure if anyone who has seen the Broadway show, it probably is offensive to you, so I'm sorry if I like this, but I will say I don't love it anymore. I just like it. So, there's your consolation prize. So, what's my ratings for all the films that I watched last week? Well, Cinderella, I'd give that a 7 out of 10. The Three Caballeros, I give that a 7 out of 10 as well. A Goofy Movie, I give that an 8 out of 10. Bedtime Stories, controversially, 10 out of 10. I don't care. 10 out of 10 for me. It's my score. It's my list. I can do whatever the hell I want. It's my opinion. 10 out of 10. And finally, Into the Woods. Whilst I definitely feel like I would have given it an 8 out of 10 way back, I think now, after growing a lot more, I'll give it a 6 out of 10, even though I felt like I enjoyed it as I would enjoy a 7 out of 10 film. But 6 out of 10. Anyways, that's the end of it. I'm hoping this isn't as distracting, all this. I just wanted to get something easy out so that way I can put a lot more time with the 2025 film ranking. So yeah. Anyways, so that's the end of today's video, everyone. So yeah, I'm here to give you a third, fourth, or fifth perspective on any sort of film and just to give you my opinions on films and all that. Yeah, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and leave a comment down below of what you want to see next. And finally, and I want to say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all later. Have a good one.